Yeah, what's going on, guys? Today we are talking about three movies: Oppenheimer, Barbie, and Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. Let's get into it. All right, to start, Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part One. If you're watching this video this week or next week or whatever, it comes out this week. Okay, think a couple days from now. It's already in theaters. They're already showing it, which is interesting. Now they're starting to show movies the week of, not the day of. So if it comes out on Saturday or Friday, there's for some reason they're showing it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They're showing it every day because they don't care. They're just trying to get movie ticket sales and trying to really open the door for people to go back to the movie theaters. Well, in this case, I am running to it because I heard a lot of good feedback about it. The movie looks crazy. The Tom Cruise is like 70 years old, 60 years old, still doing his own stunts. Still doing his own stunts, which is insane. I don't know if this movie has like the nostalgia factor to it where it's like kind of like Indiana Jones and that kind of thing because, I'm not a big fan of Indiana Jones to be honest, but this is Mission Impossible, it's good. It's about him doing things that are almost impossible and he's doing them so easily at the, whatever he's doing. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 98%. 98%. That I don't know if that's the critics review or the movie review, or the people review. That is amazing for a movie that is coming out these days. Like right now, we're getting like crappy movies or movies that are just not holding up. The last movie I saw, I mean, there's not very many movies in the theater. Not very many movies in the theater. Last movie I saw was Insidious, and I like all movies, right? I'm a movie connoisseur, but Insidious was good, but was it like something that was $100 million, $200 million? Was it like a box office hitter? Not really. It was good though. So if you haven't seen it, watch it. But back into this Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. So this is a two-part series. I take it this is probably going to be the end of the series if it I'm assuming it's going to do well, but their idea is, we leave a cliffhanger at the end, and just in case it doesn't do well, we just kind of wrap it up here. But if it does do well, we open the door. Tom Cruise has already stated that he's willing to play this role, just like Harrison Ford, which is probably not a good idea because look at how that movie turned out. Not very well. I think they're already bombing. It came out like 2 weeks ago or a week ago. And Indiana Jones is made less than Insidious, which is insane to say. Insidious cost like 15 million, 20 million to make, and it made so much money. And Indiana Jones probably cost like hundreds of millions, and it has not made. I don't think it broke even yet, right? That's just to make the movie, not the marketing to it, not to put it in the theaters, all that stuff. So there's a lot of cost that goes into it. This movie, Mission Impossible, 290 million. 290 million. That is an insane amount of money for a movie these days. Barbie is $100 million. So now that put that into context. Which one has more hype to it? Barbie or Mission Impossible? Looks like Barbie's gonna win. And this Mission Impossible looks good. I saw the trailer. It looks promising. I don't know if it's gonna be like a box office hit, box office draw. It seems like it came out at a really bad time. They should have just waited a little bit or just released it sooner. Like, why are you gonna compete with Barbie and Oppenheimer? Like, we all know Barbie and Oppenheimer are taking the box office by loads, bro. They probably already got Christopher Nolan on a whole different contract to do a whole other movie that has nothing to do with Oppenheimer because they already know this movie is gonna perform well. Christopher Nolan is hands down one of the best directors these days. He's the modern day Tim Burton. He's the modern day Steven Spielberg, modern day Martin Scorsese. Where if he touches it, it's gold, right? He has the Midas touch. Anything he touches, it turns into gold. And I have nothing wrong with that. I love me a Christopher Nolan movie. The visuals. He made Inception. He made Interstellar. He made Dunkirk. What else did he made? Batman, like the trilogy with Christian Bale. He's made so many hitter movies that this is gonna be. He made Tenet with Robert Pattinson, and I'm sure Robert Pattinson probably would have been in this movie if it wasn't for him being a part of Batman, because he's obviously focused on Batman right now. He's not gonna. They need his attention over there because that is a booming series right now. So why would you walk away to make this whole new series? And this could be a one and done type thing. So yeah. Mission Impossible. Let's go back to that. I'm not sure what it's about again. I just know it's going to be a movie about doing impossible, doing impossible missions as the other ones are. You know, Tom Cruise doing his own stunts and doing these crazy things like jumping off of this and jumping off of that. The one clip that comes to mind from this movie is him driving off like a mountain or something, and then parachuting, like letting go of the motorcycle and then parachuting down. That clip alone sells me to it, because it's like he's doing this crazy obstacle. I mean, I would never do it in my life, and he's like 60 years old doing that, and it's crazy to think that he's able to do that. But I'm gonna watch it this week. I'll give you guys a review and feedback on it, but that's the hype this week and what everyone's talking about. Movie number 2, let's move into it. Movie 2 is Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer, for those that know, Oppenheimer is a movie about the atomic bomb. I believe it's the one that happened in Hiroshima whenever they attacked us, when the Japanese. I believe it's about when the Japan people attacked us and they lit up Pearl Harbor, and then we went back and attacked them and we dropped a bomb on them. And this bomb is not a joke. It's an atomic bomb. It was something that they thought it was gonna end the world. They thought it was gonna be similar to the asteroid hitting Earth and turning it into a fireball during the dinosaur days. And then the dinosaurs are all extinct. So they probably thought, for a percentage of time, that there's a possibility that we could become extinct for our own, by ourselves, and we caused it. Or in this case, Oppenheimer caused it. I believe that's his name. Movie looks great. I gotta applaud this. It's a movie by Universal, the same company or the same distribution company that made Fast and the Furious and all that stuff. But that has nothing to do with it, right? It's just Universal. They're known to make really good movies. Transformers, a lot of big hits. This movie looks incredible. Okay, I'll start with that. It looks insanely good. It looks like it looks like a slow moving movie, but knowing Nolan, it's gonna be good. It's 3 hours long or something along those lines, which is crazy. But the cast is where it's at. You have Cillian Murphy, which has been Nolan's go-to guy for many movies. He played in the first Batman as Scarecrow, and after that, he was just always working with Nolan and being a part of Nolan movies. And now he actually gets his main character role. So good for Cillian Murphy. I love that guy. I love his acting. He's definitely one of my top actors, even back then even. But now, obviously, if this movie does well, he's going to be up there for everybody. Robert Downey Jr., crazy guy to see in the cast. Then you also have Josh Peck. Like Drake and Josh Peck is in this movie. And then you also have Emily Blunt. Like Emily Blunt, that's a good actress right there. You got Matt Damon, the god of movies, right? You know, he's always been in movies and forever. If you've seen Martian, you'll fall in love with Matt Damon. He's an amazing actor. Rami Malek, the guy that played Freddy from Queen, the Queen movie. That's Rami Malek. He also played like Robot or iRobot. I don't know that one. Mr. Robot. That's what it was. You also have who else do you have? Casey Affleck. What's his name? Ben Affleck's brother's in this movie, right? That's pretty good. And he's actually been in a lot of movies. You have Alex Wolff, he's actually pretty common in a bunch of movies. He was in that one movie with Mark Wahlberg. About the Boston bombing attack. He played one of the characters. You have Jason Clarke. Like, Jason Clarke is a really phenomenal actor. He's in a lot of, war movies and stuff like that. So this makes perfect sense. Right in his alley. And there's a lot of other people that I never really heard of before, but those are going to be like the main ones to really look out for. This movie, you also have Dan Dehan. The guy he plays in Spider-Man. He's the bad guy in Spider-Man. So that's also a good character to look into. This movie looks amazing, okay? Hands down, this movie's going to be great. Now, is it going to outbeat Barbie? Probably not. Why? Because Barbie is a bigger movie, it has a bigger audience, and the audience is going to be two different kinds of audience, right? The music is composed by Lug Göransson, which is Ludwig. That's probably how you say it, Ludwig. Ludwig, he made Interstellar. He made one of those. He worked with Christopher Nolan in the past. Normally, you're used to seeing Christopher Nolan work with Hans Zimmer, but in this case, he's not working with Hans Zimmer. He's working with this other guy. But I'm assuming Hans Zimmer is probably busy. That's probably why. Movie costs $100 million to make, which is nothing. Nothing these days. $100 million for a Christopher Nolan movie. Batman costs like $300 million. So put that into context. Tenet, which is the last Oppenheimer, which is the last movie made by um, Christopher Nolan, that costs $205 million. Put that into context. So why are these movie budgets going lower and lower and lower every time? I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea why. Why are they getting underpaid all of a sudden? I don't know. But that's what they had. $100 million. Universal Pictures comes out in like a week. This movie looks epic. It's about how the bombing happened, how the bomb was built, who helped them, the whole ride. From the beginning to start of this bomb, how it happened. And I believe they say it's supposed to be like a mix of a, kind of like a drama movie with like horror elements to it, like real horror of like people going blind from the bomb, people, losing their eyesight, and people burning to the bomb, and shadows being left on the ground. This movie is gonna be something that you don't want to take your kids to unless you want to teach them about history, right? As long as it's, I don't know if it's rated R. Let me check. Is it rated R? It might be rated R just based on people dying. But yeah, this is definitely a must watch. If you're not planning, it's called War Drama. That's the thing that's under. But if you're not planning on watching this, make sure you watch it. Make sure you're out there. This is gonna be something that everybody is gonna be talking about. All right, movie 3, Barbie. I'm a Barbie girl in a Barbie world. Now, just so you know, that song is not in the movie because it is. I don't know why it's not in the movie, but apparently that it's not actually a Barbie song. It's a play on Barbie, so they couldn't use it. They couldn't get the rights to it. But this movie also cost $100 million to make. Now, why is the $100 million the target? It seems like that's all the big businesses, the big companies are willing to put down. Warner Bros. Is making this one versus the other one. Oppenheimer is made by Universal, and Mission Impossible is made by Paramount. So 3 different companies attacking. They're all coming out right at the same time and working with each other. This movie is directed by Greta Gerwig. You don't see very many female movie directors. So this is going to be one of the very few. I mean, I don't know any off the top of my head or any that I've actually remembered. I normally know, like, there's a lot of guy directors, right? That's just the game. But in this case, it's a female movie director. Margot Robbie, Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrall. Like, come on. You got Michael Cera. You got Kingsley Ben Adir, which is also playing Bob Marley in an upcoming movie. You got Dua Lipa, right? That's playing as a Barbie. John Cena. John Cena. He's in this movie, okay? There's a lot of characters. Anne Hathaway. Oh my goodness, this movie is stacked. Yeah, Simu Liu. I don't know who that is, but his name looks cool. But you got so many characters in this movie. And if this movie beats Oppenheimer, it's an obvious given. I personally, mark me with this word. I personally believe this is going to destroy Oppenheimer, solely because it's a comedy narrative, meaning it's in a perspective of Barbie, and I think this movie is about Barbie going into the real world. Right? She's in her regular world, and then she enters the real world. Why do I say that? They didn't really put out a lot to it, which I love. I love when they don't give every detail in the trailer, but if you saw the behind the scenes, they were actually recording a lot of this movie, or at least scenes of it, on the beach in California, and there were like pictures of it, and everybody's dressed up. Will Ferrell's in character, and they're recording it. People are taking pictures or whatnot. But like the fact that they're recording it there shows me that now they're bringing Barbie into the real world, where in Barbie's world everything is perfect, right? That's the idea of it. Everything is, tip top, and everyone looks a certain way and feels a certain way. But then in the real world, it changes, right? In the real world, we have depression that comes into play. We have negative thoughts, and those don't exist in Barbie's world, but in our world it does. So she gets into our world. That's my assumption. I don't know, but if it does do that, that's going to be a good movie, because this, the way it goes and ties in, it's going to be like, how do they do it? How do they tie it in? And how do the other characters make sense? I think Will Ferrell might be playing a bad guy, which is pretty cool. He's played bad guys before, or at least not bad guys, but like, he's played some interesting characters. I think this movie is going to be a home run hit because it not only attracts adults, it attracts kids. This movie does there's news about it, okay? This movie's not meant for kids, okay? But since it's Barbie, we're going to assume it's meant for kids, right? So I don't know, on the news they've been talking about it, everywhere they've been talking about it. There's certain scenes in this movie that become questionable. They really wanted a PG rating and they ended up getting a PG-13 rating, which is big. Yeah, because there's a difference in the audience and a difference in the movie, and these days PG-13 can have a little bit more than it could back in the day. Just keep a heads up before you take your kids. Maybe look into what is actually in the movie and what they're going to be showing and why they got the rating that it got before you actually take your kids and then get disappointed or have to have them do this the whole time. Cover your eyes! Cover your eyes! Yeah, don't do that. So definitely don't take them to Oppenheimer. Maybe take them to Barbie if you have to. But these movies these days look amazing. These three movies that are coming out: Mission Impossible, Barbie, and Oppenheimer. I'm excited. I think the winner of the box office is obviously going to be Barbie, with number two being Oppenheimer, and then Oppenheimer is going to outdo Barbie, and Mission Impossible is going to be left in the dust. I think Tom Cruise knows that too. He picked the wrong time to release the movie. So yeah, that concludes our video for the day. Look forward to see you guys on the next one. I don't know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be watching movies and then reviewing. So